Today, we are gonna. I will present how to deploy a Spring Boot application on AWS cloud. So we are going to deploy our application on AWS EC2. EC2 is the entry door for the AWS cloud. You guys can present yourself and put your name on the chat, so we can know from where are you from. We can put your city. You can put the city you are from, the country, your country or city, and you can also ask a question about the cloud computing on AWS. So I will try to answer all the questions here on this live, and also you can suggest other contents for the next for the next live class. Um, so let's go to the point now. The main point here is we are going to create a Spring Boot application. So let me start the presentation. I just adjust the camera here. All right. I think the webcam is okay. And then I will share my screen. Let me share the screen now. This is screen. I want to show you the basic of the Spring Boot application. That is, you can find the Spring project in start.spring.io. We are going to create a basic Spring Boot application. Just a small one just here. So I'll start to share my screen again. Can you guys, hey guys, can you type in the chat if you can see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Let me show you here how you can create a Spring Boot application using the console of Spring.io. And I will create a basic Spring application, a very basic one. I will use Spring 1.5 to be faster with the dependence. And I'll create the group here. The name of the artifact will be Hangout, or will be live class. And I will add just the web capabilities. Maybe what to be the next web. I want to create a REST service here. So let's generate the project, the Spring Boot project, and let's put in another folder here. So for you guys who are just starting now, can you put your name on the chat so you can see where are you from? You can put your name, your city, your country. Let's put the project here, our Spring Boot project. And in this presentation, I'm showing how to deploy a Spring Boot application on AWS Cloud. So here is the application. I will open this application on my IDE. As you can see, we are using the application on-premise. We call on-premise when we use the application in your local machine. So when you guys see these words in some project, talk about cloud and talk about the on-premise instance, you can see that on-premise is the local machine. So we are starting and updating the dependency here. Hello, can you put your name on the chat? Are you guys seeing? Can you guys see my screen? Can you share where are you from? Your country or city? So we are going to start to test this application. Let's see if is everything okay. Maybe it will take some time because the first time the application is running. But soon we will have this application running on AWS, on a instance on AWS. Let's see if is everything okay. All right, so the application is working, and now I will deploy a small method here just to see if everything is okay. I will deploy a REST controller here. I'll take my annotation here, just a moment. So in the meantime, you can put your name here in the chat, and you can share where are you from. If you have some doubts about the cloud on AWS, you can also suggest content for the next meeting you are going to have. So here, let's start the application again. Let's restart the application just to be sure that the application is working on-premise. When I say on-premise, you guys, you can understand that the on-premise is when you want to say that the application is running on the local machine. Application is running on local machine. You call the application is running on-premise, and the other side, and the application will be running on the cloud environment. So let's test the application again. I'll see what is the context of the application. It will be just hello, and there is a path variable here. So you can see that the application is okay, is running fine here. But now I want that application to be on a AWS environment. So let's change here. I will open the folder. What I need to do now is to commit that application on GitHub. So I will open the application here, and there is 2 points I have to do. The first one is to launch a EC2 machine. I mean, adjusting the camera here. Can you see the console of AWS right now? I will create a instance on AWS. How we do that? On AWS, you can go on service, and you can find here EC2 is under compute. And you have to find a serve. There is hundreds of services here. You can just start type EC2. The service will appear just here. So let's click on EC2. Then we'll click on launch instance. And when you want to make several tests on AWS, you can click here on free tier only. So AWS will show only the free machine here because we are testing applications. So we don't need now to use the paid services. Click on select the machine. You choose the first one. Here, we will use this general purpose machine here. Click on next, configure details. In these details, the configuration about the network and VPC, we will use the default options. Here in this storage, we also use the default. And you don't need to, it's not required to add tags, but it's good for what when you have lots of resources. It's important to annotate here maybe the name of the project. Live. It's good to have some tags here, but it's not required. And here is an important point when you want to expose some web application, because the security group is like a basic firewall. So you have to know what are the ports you want to be available. The default port is only the port 22, that is SSH port. So if you use the default one, you will not be able to your application, your machine will not be accessible in other way that is not SSH. So I want to create open other ports here. I will put a name here. The security group will be live class, and I want to use the port HTTP and the port 80. I want this port to be available, and I also want a custom port here that is 8080, and maybe one more port. I'm not sure I will be using 8081. Why did I do that? Because if I don't open these ports here, even my application will be running, it will be not accessible. So let's review and launch. So here are the options we chose, and let's click on launch. That is an important point here to machine to be available via SSH. You need to have a key pair. It is necessary to have a key pair. I will show how to create. It's very simple to create a key pair. You only choose create a new key pair, and here you put a name, live class, and you click on download key pair. Important thing to remember that you should know where the key pair are stored. As my one is on the download folder, so it's not difficult to find it later. So let's click on launch instance. It will take some time to this machine to be ready for use, but in the meantime, I will commit the application on GitHub. So we have the application here. While the machine is being created on AWS, I will put my machine on GitHub, not this one. I will commit the application on GitHub. So I initialized my repository here. Let's put a comment on the commit. I have to set my username on GitHub. Let's put the correct one. dorival.quirino.gmail.com. Now I can put my first commit here, and I need to enter on GitHub right now to create the repository. So on GitHub, I'll create a repository and will commit my application on that repository. I put the same name here, live class. This repository will be public, and we can create this repository. So after create the repository, you can go to the machine. You can remember that the machine is being created on AWS console. But while the machine is being created, I want to commit the application on GitHub. I will add the remote repository that I just created. And that is give it a push here. Well, that's the first part. The application is working locally. The application is committed on GitHub. And now I want to access my application from GitHub. Let's see on AWS console if the machine is ready. Can you see the screen? I mean, with two screen here, but now I'm on the screen AWS screen. And how do I access that machine? Here on AWS console, when my machine is created and running, I will put a name here, live class. And this machine, it is available because I opened the ports. I can access the machine by IP or by public DNS. I will access this machine by IP and use the SSH. As I have a Git bash here, I can use Git bash to access the machine by SSH, or Git bash or a Linux terminal, or on Windows people can use the put also. But let's do that. You need to be on the folder where I downloaded the key pair, the key to access the machine. And this key pair is on downloads. Extension is PEM. And the AWS, the machine, let me show you the easy way to connect that machine. You have to type a command, but if you click on the machine, you click on the connect, then AWS will open a screen showing the command for you to access the machine via SSH. So we can copy here and go to the console. Here is where I downloaded the key pair. Then I will paste the command here. Oh, not yet. I will copy the command. So this command does not use the IP. This command uses the DNS name, but there is no problem. So here I'm accessing the machine using SSH. I added the key pair here, and in this terminal I'm on the AWS machine. It's a Amazon Linux AMI. I have to update the system. Ion sudo ion update. Just to update the packages. I need to install Java in this machine. Java. Because this machine don't have Java. Sudo ion Java. Install. Ion install Java. We are going to install also Maven in this machine. Install Java. We are going to install Maven, and also we are going to install Git. So the machine will be okay. Java dash version. Java is okay. Let's install Maven. After install Maven, we are going to install Git. Then you can clone the repository here. So we install Git here. Then you can clone the repository, the Git repository here. So I click on my repository, click on clone or download. And now I will access the EC2 machine on AWS. Let's create a folder here. I will clone the project just here. So our project live class is here on AWS. CD live class. So let's start. Let's start this application here. MVN Spring dash boot, comma run. There is lots of dependencies here. So maybe we'll download the dependencies. And if everything is okay, maybe we will start our Spring Boot application, which is starting right now. Now, let's take the address of the instance here. So I will copy. This is the public IP. This is IP that is open to the world, and the parts that I opened on the configuration will be accessible. So this is the IP. The full part of the application is 88. The context is hello, and there is a variable, and this variable will be let's see, our application is responding on AWS environment. Uh, I can share here this address. I will share this address here on the chat. So if you can try there and see if the this IP is available. But as you can see now, what did you do? We created the application on our local machine. You test that application. That application is available locally, and also that application was committed on GitHub. We committed that application on GitHub. And then you created a AWS instance using AWS console. And on the machine, on the EC2 machine, the EC2 instance, we cloned that application, and we started the application on EC2 machine, and that the application become available all over the world. So that is one of. There are many ways you can deploy your Spring Boot or Java application. This is one of them, and this is a way. It's very easy because it's very easy for you to create a repository on GitHub. It's very easy to install Maven in Java, and so you can. It's a way you can migrate an application from on-premise machine to AWS machine, and the same way you do that with a small application, basic application, you can do with a greater application, a bigger application. But that is the basic way you can do that. And you can also ask a question if you want to suggest some content to be explained on the on the this live or another live. So you can put your question here on the chat. The chat is not updating here, but I will try to refresh. So that's it. If you guys have any question, please let me know. Put the question on the chat, so you can talk about your question. You can also talk about some content you put on the chat. Let me tell you one more thing about the instance on AWS. We use that free instance here, but if you see when you create instance, there is several types of instance. So you can use this is the Amazon Linux. You can use Red Hat Linux, SUSE Linux, or Ubuntu Linux, and all these options have the free tier machine. But if you need some more powerful machine, You can create a Windows machine, Windows Server machines. So there is lots of types of instance. Some instance came with this software already installed, so you can create a Windows Server with the SQL Server, Windows Server Enterprise, and there is some Linux machine. And one important thing, you can create a Windows free machine also on AWS. So maybe you want to test in something with a Windows Server or something like that. You can create. This is a free, tire legible Windows. You can create this free Windows machine and make some tests and try something before you use a paid version. Uh, that is some explanation. I wanted to talk about the free machines and the ways you can create a machine on AWS. There are other important thing that I will be talking about on the next chat. The next is about the auto scaling. Auto scaling. You create a auto scale group, and when your machine start to reach some point you have configured, the AWS will create another instance, and will create the instance automatically as your machine start to be overloaded. So that is the auto scaling is a important feature that we are going to see on next on the next live. And if you guys have some question, please put on the chat, and you can talk a little more about what doubts you have. If you have some suggestion about the content, we also can talk about. Uh, I have let's see if you have some question here. You have no question today, and I want to thank Sandra to join us in this meeting, and the other guys didn't have no question for now. But that's it. Hello, Sandra. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining us to join this meeting. And if you have some suggestion, if you have some question, please let me know, and we can talk a little more about some specific topics on AWS or other specific topic on cloud computing. Please feel free to ask your question. Uh, Let's see what else you can see on the instance here. That I will click on the instance that is running, and this instance, you can also monitor your instance. You can check here the stats of the instance, if everything is okay. You can see the monitoring and the usage of the CPU, disk reads, disk operation, networking. And one thing about network, if you guys use some system that use too much resource on network, and these resources can the smaller machine also have a small power of network. So if you need a very powerful network, you probably you needed to use a more powerful machine also. So this is some particularities on resources on AWS, and the application is running okay now. Let's do one more test. So everything is okay, and so that is what I want to show for now. And on next class, if you guys have some suggestions, please let me know. And thank you very much to join to this meeting. And I hope on next one, I will bring more amazing content about how to scale this application. And there is other content also that I want to share is we are going to create a database on AWS. Today, you have still some time. Let me show you how we create a database on AWS. So I will create here. I will show you how to create a database. Just a moment. So let's start again on AWS console. Database on AWS, it has a name of RDS, that is Relational Database. I don't know if you guys are seeing my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, I think it is okay. If you type database, maybe it will not appear the database, but the database on the AWS is relational database. Relation data service, relational data service, RDS. When you click on RDS, I will show you this here because you can try this during the week. If you have some question, you can ask me question on Twitter. My nickname on Twitter is DorivalQ, at DorivalQ on Twitter, on LinkedIn, DorivalQ. So you can ask any question and I can help you. When you enter on Amazon RDS, you can click on Create Database. And AWS has lots of database you can create here. I want to create a MySQL database. I want to create only 3 options. Click on Next. I use the general public license, the default version, the default CPU. The instance, the username, the password. So this is very easy to create a database. As you can see, you just put the name, the password, the root password, click on next, and we don't for this case we don't need to change networking or other options here. You can click on public access because I want to access publicly this option. I will let the options as default, and I will not change the options here. And here there is a warning that the automated backup is not supported for this instance. And here is the default options and click on create database. So this is only what you need to create your database on AWS. And it will take some time to create, to have your database creator running. Let's click on here on console, database, and the instance are being created. Uh, if you guys have some question, please let me know. But here, when you use this option, you create your database. You can, as we make the database public, you can access for all over the world. For any place in the world, you can access that instance. Uh, let's see if the machine is okay. No, it is being created. It's not ready yet. But as you can see, it's very easy to create a database instance. I'll just review the steps if you want to do that after. Is the relational database system service, relational database service, RDS. When you click on RDS, it will be on RDS Dashboard. You will click on create database. And then it will open all the options of database. This Aurora is a optimized version of the Postgres and the MySQL. So Aurora is a paid database, but this is very powerful. If you guys need a powerful database, but need a smaller costs, Aurora is a very easy database for you to use. I just want to see if my instance is red now, just to show you how it work. No, it is creating. But here is the database. The database is being created, but it's very easy for you to create database. You don't need to create a machine, or the AWS can take care of the backups and the machine infrastructure. You only need to go to here in the console and create a database and configure the options, and your database will be online and available for your teams all over the world. So that is what I want to show today, and I hope this can help you to start to practice cloud computing on AWS. And also, I want to, if you have some question, please let me know your question, and you can find me on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Let's put my Twitter here. Twitter is Dorival Q. And LinkedIn, I'm also Dorival Q. And this channel, I ask you to register in this channel to receive the new video I will post here. This is the channel Cloud for Java. This is the project to help you, Java developer, to improve your career and to work on cutting edge projects by learning cloud computing services on AWS. So that's it for now. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Sandro. Thank you, everybody. And ask a question on Twitter, and let your comments so you can talk more about cloud environment, and you can have more content on next live class. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye, everybody, and I hope to see you on next class. Let's stop the presentation here. And this is one of the first presentation, and I hope you can improve it each day. Will improve it a lot more in bringing lots of content here for you guys. So thank you for joining us, and I will see you on next class. Thank you very much.